All right. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get some more viewers. All right. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get some more viewers. All right. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get some more viewers. Just one viewer. Okay. Shit. Shit. Oh shit. One viewer. Damn. Okay. I'm gonna give it about another 5 minutes. Maybe some more people will show up. Once I just post this YouTube thing, I'm just gonna go because I don't know. I'm not getting that many views, but fuck it. Fuck it. Niggas will watch this shit, niggas won't, but anyway, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of my hip hop review. I was originally gonna do one last night, but I was having Wi-Fi issues. Plus I was just really tired last night and shit like that. So my apologies. I really need to start doing better with hold on. Okay. I really need to start doing better, with that shit because I really want to do that YouTube video last night, but again, and plus, I have like some shit to handle later on tonight too, so I decided just to push this review up a couple hours. So yeah. Okay, so we got one viewer. That's interesting. I would expect it to be more views, but I guess people got kind of sidetracked, whatever. Anyway, album that I'm about to review today, well tonight, excuse me, is Public Enemy's second studio album, Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. Released in 1988 on Def Jam Records. Yeah. Singles albums known for are okay. Singles albums known for are Rebel Without a Pause, Bring the Noise, Don't Believe the Hype, Night of the Living Bassheads, and Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos. Excuse me, it's a bit hard in here. Excuse me about that. Alright. So, yeah. So producers include Chuck D, Rick Rubin. Pretty much the whole Bomb Squad pretty much produced this album. Let's just put it frankly, but it was mostly under Hank Shocklee direction. It was under Hank Shocklee direction and shit. But anyway, all right, so let's get down. So after Yo Bum Rush the show, it was pretty much critically acclaimed and whatnot, but it was kind of unnoticed by the public and shit. So basically, they went on tour with the Def Jam tour. They went on tour with LL, Beastie Boys. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Eric B. and Rakim was supporting act. And so they were touring, and most of their acclaim came from came from like their tours and their shows and shit like that, because you had them like you had like them whooping like having like a fake KKK whooping their ass and shit like that. Like hip hop was really not really ready for a group like Public Enemy and shit like that. So Chuck D, he wanted to make an album that was very equivalent of Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On" and shit like that. So hence, because that album is like a landmark album and shit. So I don't even have to talk about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so basically, what ended up happening was they were working on this album, and that's how this album came out. Couple things I should say. This was really the album where I felt like the Bomb Squad pretty much found the style. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Damn, it's hot, but fuck it. Pretty much found their style and shit. And I also felt like, because with this album, they had like a more denser, a more very like wild kind of style. Like they had like, this was a group that had like 10 samples all in one song and shit like that. And they all just flowed well, in my opinion. And so basically, with that being said, as heavy as the production was, Chuck D, he kind of like found his voice with this album, because if you listen to him rhyming on Yo Bum Rush the Show compared to this album and shit, Chuck D, he was still getting used to like, how can I put this? You know how like in the late 80s, there was like certain rapper who rap like went to the store, that. Like his voice, his voice basically perfected that dark, grimy production, that minimalistic production of the first album, which, like I said before, is not a bad thing, because I praise that album. But, his voice on this album, the way he's rapping, definitely was like very equivalent, very more powerful and shit like that, more in your face, to say the least. So that's how I kind of got from that. What's up, Mike C? How you doing? Bro? Yeah. So anyway, what else about this album? I feel like I'm missing something, but let me look through my notes. Yeah, I think I said what I had to say. I said what I had to say beforehand and shit like that. So, okay, well, this right here is the album cover, a very iconic album cover. Chuck D and Flavor Flav, Full Deck, Heart and Soul of Public Enemy. I don't care what nobody says. Of course, you got the credits and shit, Then you got the members like, you have Chuck D, Flavor Flav, Terminator X, and Professor Griff. All right. So, album has about, I believe, 16 songs. All right, let's get started. Let's see. Chilling, that's what's up. You picked the right video to chill to, my dude. Anyway, track number 1, Countdown to Armageddon. Very dope way to start off the album and shit. Is taken from a concert they did in London and shit, just announce who they are, like Public Enemy, you know what I'm saying? Track number 2, Bring the Noise. Very dope song, one of the most popular songs. From what I looked up, that song was actually an answer back to this critic named John Leland, because he reviewed their first album and he basically had Noise in the headline and shit like that. But it wasn't a bad review. It was just them, saying Bring the Noise and shit like that. Very dope song. My thoughts on the remix. I'm gonna say my thoughts on the remix until when I review Apocalypse 91 and shit, because a lot of people know this song from the Anthrax remix, but I like the original version and shit. The original version is dope. Track number 3, Don't Believe the Hype. Self-explanatory. Just say ignore the media. Ignore the media at all costs. Like, don't always go by what everybody is saying and shit like that. Just basically facing shit full on shit like that. That's what I got from that. Hey, Mojo, would you mind like submitting like a donation for me to review the album and shit? Cause I've kind of said before, people wanted to review an album, they need to submit like a donation or something and shit. So yeah. In other words, just enjoy this review and shit. But we'll talk about that some other day. No disrespect is whatsoever, just saying. Yeah. Okay, so Don't Believe the Hype, dope song. I love that song. The video was dope too. He had them like a basketball court and just shit like that. Yeah. Track number 4, Cold Lampin with Flavor. Okay, I mentioned this track briefly when I talked about Yo Bum Rush the show. If you hear the beginning of the song, you hear like Mr. Magic and shit like that, kind of dissing Public Enemy, talking about no more music by these suckers, I guarantee you. So they repeat that shit over and over and over and shit like that. And basically Flavor Flav just going in and shit like that, talking about what do you mean by suckers and shit like that. And he just starts rapping and shit. So yeah, this not one of my favorite Flav solos and shit like that, but still a pretty cool song, you know. Probably like the closest thing you ever probably close you'll ever see Public Enemy like throwing shots at somebody. But yeah, it is what it is. Track number 5, Terminator X to the Edge of Panic. That song right there, what I got from that song was just them bigging up Terminator X, you know, DJ and shit like that. They were bigging him up and shit. Then you had like the instrumental Mind Terrorist. Oh, that's like a little short instrumental and shit. Yeah, pretty interesting. Track number 7, Louder Than a Bomb. Oh my god, that song right there is so ill and shit. That song, like this basically what I got from that song is just a definition of what Public Enemy is and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Chuck D will say some shit like, "The style seems wild. Wait before you treat me like a stepchild. Let me tell you why they got me on file. Cause I give what you lack. Come right and exact. Our status is the saddest, so I care where you at. Black and at home. I can call from Tony Rome. The FBI was tapping my phone." Which and shit like they actually kind of did tap into their phones and shit like that. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna find out the whole story about that because it was around the time when they're preparing to release Fear for Black Planet and shit. So other than that, Louder Than a Bomb, very, very, very dope, very, very, very dope song and shit like that. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I read some of that they were investigated by the FBI and shit, but let me just see if I got the right facts before and shit like that. But track number 8, caught. Can we get a witness? Oh, that's another dope song and shit like that. It's just talking about the status of how blacks are being dealt, how being treated unfairly in the judicial system. A song that is so relevant today, but it's mostly talking about how sampling and shit like that, because at the same time you gotta understand in 1988, you know, people were catching on to sampling and shit like that, and it didn't really become like a huge big deal until, like I mentioned, excuse me, when Biz Markie got sued for the Alone Again song and shit like that. So Yeah, they were kind of like letting people warning people about, it's cool that we all sampling and shit, but they're gonna like find some way to like take that shit away and shit like that. Which I find it kind of funny though, because the way I see sampling and covering songs, it's pretty much the same thing, if you ask me, because of the fact that it's still paying homage and shit. And I just kind of find it kind of weird how, people would excuse covering songs, but when it comes to sampling and shit like that, people will be like, oh, nitpicky and shit like that. Which I understand that people have to make their money too, but I just kind of felt that was like a double standard in its own right. But it is what it is. Um, yeah, caught. Can we get a witness and shit like that? Oh, and the fourth verse, he kind of like talks about the something else in the fourth verse, talking about um excuse me, how he's basically saying some shit like, like a lot of singers, at that time were talking about, had like a lot of sensitive songs, and they wanted to like to talk about heavy issues today and shit like that. Kind of funny, kind of reminds me of when in Fight the Power, they had a certain line that says, "Don't worry, be happy" was a #1 jam, and, and shit like that, because that song by Bobby McFadden was like a huge song, 1989 up to 1990 and shit like that. I think that song won Grammy Song of the Year. So yeah, they wanted to get people focused on like the real issues and shit, but it is what it is. Because hmm, shit, yeah. And also, what I also got from that fourth verse was because they mentioned something, I believe, when Tom Waits sued Third Base and shit like that for a sample class, which I didn't even fucking know about. I didn't fucking know about and shit like that. And he basically has a line that says, "Scream that I sample. For example, Tom, you ran to the federal court in U.S. It don't mean you, yeah, because they fronted on you. The posse's ready and shit like that. So yeah, very, very interesting song and shit like that. And I probably talked too much about that song. Track number 9, Show 'em What You Got. This is an instrumental song, but at the same time, it's a very dope song in its own right, because it uses that same sample. You guys heard that saxophone sample before from um everybody, most notably used by Rex and Effect and stuff like that. Oh, it's not. Ooh. I did not mean to post that on that YouTube, but now I know what happened. I posted that on the wrong YouTube page. I mean the wrong Instagram page and shit like that. So okay. Anyway, it's no biggie. Other than that, where was I? Show 'em what you got. Very dope song. I love that instrumental. Like I said before, that saxophone sample. You guys should recognize it by Rex and Effects used it before and shit like that. And shit like that. Yeah, that's mostly what people mostly know that sample for. But yeah, what I got is talking about is bigging up like Black history leaders and stuff like that. Very powerful song. The lady that's talking in the background, that's Ava Muhammad, who was affiliated with the like Nation of Islam and shit like that. So yeah, very cool song. Very cool song. That's probably like one of my favorite songs off the album and stuff. Then we got to show what she got. She watched Channel Zero. Um, that's another cool song, another classic song. When you probably heard that you're blind, baby. You're blind to the fact, like Heavy D. use that same, I think, same sample and shit like that. What I got from you blind, you watch Channel Zero was the fact that they're talking about how black women will spend like most of their time, well, not black women spend most of the time like watching like soap operas and shit like that, and they will believe like the soap operas would basically take over control of their lives and stuff like that. Hold on. Just to get some more views and shit. I'm sorry. Just because they felt like they felt like soap operas were corrupting their minds and shit. And yeah, they talking about don't believe what you watch on TV. Like, because if you guys watch like a lot of these soap operas, they'll have like, oh, well, the wife will leave husband for a while and they come back. You guys know I'm getting that shit like that. Sorry about that. Damn, I am slipping right now. I'm sorry about that. Oh jeez. I did not mean to post on the other Instagram, but it's all good. What's up, Q? What's up? Yeah, so she watched Channel Zero. Definitely a cool song and shit like that. Next song is Night at the Living Bassheads. Oh yes, okay. So that's possibly my second favorite song off the album. Night at the Living Bassheads. Where do I begin with that song? No, okay. In case you guys don't know, a basshead is just another word for a junkie, someone who's on coke and on crack, shit like that. Yeah, man. Night of Living Bassheads, very descriptive song. I should love that song. The video, the music video was very ahead of its time for 1988, 89, whenever it was released, because it pictures like Public Enemy. For one, I think the video was about 6 minutes because it had like them like in this news, like in like this news reporter, like having a news reporter and shit like that. And yeah, very you have to watch it for yourselves, like and shit like that. And yeah, Not a Living Basshead, very classic song. Next track, Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos. That's my favorite song off this entire album and shit. Possibly not a surprise to many people. Um, yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. So that's the song is about how Chuck D was like drafted into the army and shit like that, and he didn't. What's up, Try? He didn't want, he's saying like he don't want to fight for a country that have not done shit for him. Applaud him for that. That's just my personal. That's my personal opinion. But and other than that, so they arrested him and shit like that. And the thing about this song was just how in your face it was. Them talking about freedom of speech. Them like fighting for what you believe in. Just certain shit like that. And that's what made like Public Enemy so special and what stood them out among the contemporaries and shit. And also, I believe that if I'm not mistaken, Tricky from Massive Attack, dope trip hop group by the way, did a cover of that song and shit like that. So yes, they check out that one. Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos. Yeah, very dope song. Love that song. Okay, let's see where we're at. Damn, okay. Next track, Security of the First World. That's like another instrumental, pretty dope. Then we have Rebel Without a Pause. Okay, so this was pretty much like a lot of people kind of call this like their breakthrough song and shit like that because it was they released it I think as a B side or they released a single and they had like a B side of Sophisticated Bitch the summer of '87 and shit, and that was like a huge song because that high pitch sample they used all throughout it was very different. That's like one of my favorite beats from the Bomb Squad in general and shit. Oh my god, like that shit crazy as hell, like for real. I remember playing that song when I was little. It used to drive my sister crazy. Listen to that fucking song and shit. But back to the song. So Rebel Without a Cause and shit. Basically that song was supposed to be about how they wanted to make a song according to Chuck D to capture the live energy because like I mentioned before, they were getting more praise live in the live performances than they were to the Yo Bum Rush the Show album and shit. So very dope song. Oh, by the way, check out the Soul Trainer performance of that song and shit like that. And yeah, I remember Don King saying some shit like that was frightening and shit. So yeah, very very dope song. Rebel Without a Pause. All right, let's see what's the next song. Next song, Prophets of Rage. That song was pretty straight. That song was pretty straight and shit. Oh, I forgot to mention, Black Steel in an Hour of Chaos was also covered by Rage Against the Machine, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. And I think I made a slight mistake when I talked about Night of the Living Bassheads. No, actually, I don't think I did because I don't think. Never mind. I don't think I made a mistake. Oh yes, I did. Okay, Tricky. He actually, if I'm not, I think I said he did a cover of Night of the Living Bases, but he did a cover of Black Steel and shit like that. So both Tricky and Rage Against the Machine did covers of Black Steel and the Hour of Chaos. And the last song is Party for Your Right to Fight. Oh shit. Okay, so if you guys can read the title carefully, it's a play on the Beastie Boys song Fight for Your Right to Party, but they use that play on as like them saying party for your right to fight, like don't be afraid to fight for what you believe in and shit like that. So yeah. All right, so never heard this album. My intro to public was Fear of Black Planet. What's your favorite tracks on the album, Rage? Well, Tribal, my favorite tracks are Don't Believe the Hype, Cold Lamping with Flavor, Show 'Em What You Got, She Watched Channel Zero, Night of Living Bassheads, Black Steel and the Hour of Chaos. Those are my top tracks. And yeah, try like this album right here. I'm just going to tell you right now, a must-have in your collection for any hip-hop head. I mean, this was pretty much like their breakthrough album. This album was pretty much like a groundbreaker and shit like that because of the fact that while Yo Bum Rush the Show, that was a good album and it did set the barriers, for conscious hip hop and shit like that. Yo Bum Rush the Show was just the breakthrough for everything, in my opinion, and shit. Definitely one of the albums that ushered in a new generation, a new age of hip hop and shit. Cause like people were still like into like the Houdinis and the Run DMCs and shit. Well, Run DMC, they were still like popular with the Tougher Than Leather album and shit like that. But at the same time, they were just slowly on their way out, which I'm going to talk about more. But yeah, with this album right here, man, just the production, like the Bomb Squad, Definitely one of the best hip hop production groups ever. For real, like just the fact how they would layer their samples and shit. Like to me, their production kind of reminds me of Phil Spector's Wall of Sound and shit. And if you guys listen to a lot of Phil Spector's early like production, his layers of work and like his is catastrophic in a way. So that's basically what I have to say. And me personally, when you talk about like Public Enemy and shit, I have to say like my favorite albums are like their first four albums are my favorite. Um, I had definitely, I definitely would possibly say Fear for Black Planet might be my personal favorite, but it's debatable because some days I feel like this is my favorite. Some days I feel like Fear for Black Planet is my favorite. But also recently, Apocalypse 91 has been reaching up there recently, and that's the album I out of all the albums I can't wait to touch upon because that album got some heat. Like Gary G. Wiz did his thing on that, producing the majority of the album and shit. Yeah, man. And they re-released this album in 2014. They have like I think it comes to a double disc if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. Okay, let me double check. Yeah, they did another disc of bonus tracks. You know, they have a couple of remixes and shit like that. And they also have the original version of the classic B-side song, B-side Wins Again. And for some reason they have Fight the Power, the soundtrack version. Which is I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that, but I just kind of felt that was a little odd though. But yeah. And I so glad I'm so glad I'm finally touching upon this album because like with all this talk about this, ironically with all this talk about this whole Meek Mill Jay Z verse on the What's Free, people just automatically gravitate saying that this is like the greatest conscious hip hop ever and shit like that. But where were y'all asses at when these guys been saying this shit for like 30 years and shit? When Boogie Down Productions, after Scott LaRock died, they were on that conscious tip. X Clan, Poor Righteous Teachers, and even like when you come like more recently, you have cats like Immortal Technique and Dead Prez and J. Cole himself. He says a lot of this shit, and I know a lot of people don't like J. Cole, but and I'm not saying no shots to Jay Z because I said what I said about the verse. I like it, but at the same time, it's not like what a lot of people. It's not something to be like, oh my god, over. That's what I'm saying and shit. Cause it's Jay Z, so yeah. Yeah, Travis and my favorites are Fear for Black Planet and Apocalypse 91. Yeah, stay tuned for those later on this month and shit. I definitely gotta re-listen to Fear for Black Planet. Um yeah, man, we talked about that Jizzaverse, man. Shit. And like I said before, like I'm glad that it's cool that Meek Mill is doing all this conscious, all this good things out now and shit like that. But it's just like these certain fans, I just feel like they just consumed all this mumble rap, all this bullshit trap and shit like that. They hear something out the ordinary, like with Jay-Z verse and the Black Thought shit, which not discrediting both of those rappers and shit. I just felt like put your pussies on hold. That's all I'm saying. Just put your pussies on hold. So yeah, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Anyway, but yeah, man. So back to Public Enemy, man. This album right here, huge game changer and shit like that. Mike C said if you read the YouTube comments, they bandwagon that. They've been. I can only imagine, man. Like I can only imagine, but it is what it is. I'm just glad. I'm just glad like people are actually paying attention to more legends hip hop and hip hop so far. But yeah. Anyway, that's Public Enemy. To Texas Nation of Millions hold us back in 1988 and shit. Yeah. So I feel like I might potentially do another review later on this week. I don't know yet, but I know I got like another gig to perform at maybe tomorrow. So yeah. Also, Speaker Cloud, definitely a dope video on the Jay-Z and Nas discography breakdown and shit. Yeah, man, that was a dope video. And also, I need to definitely watch the Southern hip hop video too from Mike. And Steven definitely did a review on MC8's Death Threats, which was a dope review. To be honest, I have to re-listen to Death Threats because with that album, when I first heard the album, I was not really a fan of that album like that. I don't know why. I don't know why though, but it just kind of it was just kind of to me. But I'm definitely gonna re-listen to it. It's definitely no We Come Strapped, but there's never be an album like that. That's all I can say. Yeah. I was really thinking though. I really was thinking and shit like that because I definitely love the discography breakdown we did on Led Zeppelin. I do want to try to do the Beatles 65 to 70. I want to talk to Mike about that tonight. I don't even know if he's watching now, but yeah. Other than that, let's see. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and shit like that. I could probably chill out for a couple more minutes and shit, answering some questions. Anybody have any question, they can leave in the comment. I believe next week I'm gonna talk about the China Doll album. I'm gonna see if Steven still wants to do a review on that one. I know next week I'm planning on possibly starting covering Diamond Life from Sade. What else? I could maybe do the Earth One if I am next week. Depending on how much I get paid, I might order it, I might not, or I'll just review it without the album. I know eventually I'll get the album pretty soon. So yeah, I recently listened to that album. That shit's fire. Last Man Standing was an underrated 8 album. Yeah, man. I've heard some good things about that album. I take it that Oh Lord was for China Doll. So yeah, I share your sentiments too, but maybe I might change my opinion, maybe not. But the only reason why I'm not putting it like on my trash albums list because I'm doing it for a friend. Mike C asks, do I like Tevin Campbell music? Of course, I love Tevin Campbell. Love Tevin Campbell's music. Like his first 2 albums, bonafide classics in my opinion. To this, I'm still surprised that I'm Ready is out of print. I'm very surprised by that because you would think, well, that album has some production by Prince, with Quincy Jones and shit like that. You would think that album be in print, and it's not even on fucking Spotify. Like, what the fuck? If I'm not mistaken, I think all his albums are out of print, if I'm not mistaken. But I wouldn't be surprised if the later albums are out of print. But the first album, maybe that's out. I don't know, but shit. But anyway, yeah, try. I'm Ready's a solid album. That shit right there. That shit is a classic, in my opinion. That's fucking album is a classic. Like, I'm Ready. Damn. what's that one song always on my mind? Like, Can We Talk? That shit, like 1993 in R&B was just a had banger after banger and shit like that. You know, I don't hear a lot of people talking about that album. Like, Back to the World album is underrated. I definitely got to hear that album. I definitely got to hear Back to the World and shit. Possibly next year, if I hear all of his album, I might possibly I can do a discography breakdown. I don't know, but I've always felt like Tevin Campbell never got the props he deserves and shit. Yeah, they made a big deal about just because he was talking about sex. Yeah, I read some of the reviews how this album kind of got some controversy because a teenager talking about like a lot of grown man shit. But is to be honest, is nothing as worse as these damn city girls talking about I'll take your man and shit. Like, what the fuck is that? I'll take your man. Ain't those girls like 14, 13 years old, dressing like they're some 34-year-old prostitutes or some shit? Like, come on, man. Like, you over here getting mad at Tevin Campbell and Usher for doing shit talking about shit that normal teenage boys talk about. But you have these, but they don't talk about these ratchet ass females and some shit over here showing their goddamn implanted titties out here and shit like that. Like, you know what? I blame like this old reality TV, like the Love and Hip Hop, these Kardashians, all that bullshit. That's some asinine shit, in my opinion. Asinine. I'm down for that review. Yeah, man. Like we can definitely do some review on Tevin Campbell. It's just I'm just sick and tired of people always saying, oh, he's like 14, 15, talking about shit like that. Like, grow the fuck up, man. Go the fuck up and shit. Like the Beatles made songs about murdering people and they were in their early 20s and shit like that. No one got fucking mad about that shit. Who else? Um, who else? And even back to this whole Usher's first album and shit like that. I've heard the first album. It was not even anything remotely bad and shit like that. Like Call Me Your Mac. Oh, but at the same time, you have to be politically correct. Ugh. Motherfuckers be asinine about that whole shit, but let me calm down. But you know what I really do want to talk about though? I definitely want to talk. I just kind of find it very ironic and shit, you know. Cause I know Ice Cube's coming out. I know Ice Cube's coming out with an album this Friday and shit like that. So I'm just kind of skeptical about hearing that shit. I'm gonna wait maybe a good week or two, or maybe 3 weeks before I hear this album. I want to see the reviews on this shit first, because that whole Arrest the President song. I'm sorry, I got lyrically it was solid. I just didn't like the song in general because of that beat. The beat just sounds cheaply made, in my opinion. Like, and I mentioned the Intelligent Hoodlums Arrest the President, and I know that song is not a cover, but that song Arrest the President and the Intelligent Hoodlum, that beat was hard hitting. It fit him and shit like that. And ironically, both that album and Ice Cube's first album was released in 1990. So I'm just gonna be skeptical about listening to this album from Ice Cube and shit. LOL. Try to say the LOL. Yeah, man, because when it comes to like if a certain rapper just disappoints me countless times, or if I see too much of their faces in the media and shit like that, certain albums, if you drop a new album, I'm just gonna be like, okay, you know. I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna wait a couple while to hear that shit. Like Eminem, for example, you know, like that whole Revival Kamikaze, fuck out of here and shit. What else? What else is going on? Let me pull up Hip Hop DX and shit. 'Cause I know some tomfoolery has been going on in hip hop. For one, Kevin Hart is hosting the Oscars. This is my excited face. That's all we need and shit like that. His little short ass everywhere camera hog, and now he's gonna be in the Oscars and shit. Everyone knows the Oscars don't care about no damn black people and shit. Fuck out of here. I'm sorry, but him and Tiffany Haddish, they just get on my fucking nerves and shit. I heard that whole Night School movie was not even that good and shit. Like, I'm just tired of seeing certain comedians' faces like just rubbing it in my fucking face and shit. You know. I think the Cube album will be better than people think. I respect your opinion. Like I respect your opinion and shit. Like, and for me, like, let's just be grateful that in recent times he never dropped a bad album like the War and Peace Volume 1 and 2. Because I did like Raw Footage. People sleep on Raw Footage and shit. That was not a bad album. And shit. Yeah, fuck it. Also, before I say something about hip hop, I'm actually thinking about celebrating Kwanzaa. I'm thinking about celebrating Kwanzaa this year because I just want to do something other than swallowing the commercialism of Christmas and shit. So this is my first time celebrating Kwanzaa. So if, in case I have any viewers or anything that celebrate Kwanzaa, let me know, like, say the stuff I have to do and shit. But Mike C said, remember Moke and Steph? Of course I remember Moke and Steph. They made that song, He's Mine. That song, He's Mine. Another ratchet fucking song. I fuck with it. I love that song. I love that song. I love the beat. But I look back at that damn song, I'm just like, y'all females are real ratchet for that fucking song and shit like that. Like, and then don't get me started on that fucking music video. That fucking music video. Man, I'm sorry. The music video is just so fucking stupid. I'm sorry, but Moken's, I heard the album As Is was a dope album and shit. I heard it was a dope album, but I heard that He's Mine, you may have met him once, but in other words, you're just saying that you're a fucking hoe and you don't mind your female and you don't mind yourself being a side chick. That's what I got from the song. Man. But if a girl wants to be a hoe, let the girl be a hoe these days. That's all I say. Shit. Yeah. Cause I remember I swear the mid 2000s, when it comes to like R&B music in the 2000s, the early to mid 2000s, it either falls in the nice guy that sees a girl in a bad relationship, or the female that just fed up with men and shit like that. And just hearing that song always thinks about that time because heard it all before by Sunshine Anderson. What's that? Any Eric Benet song. Music Soul Child, like, and I love the R&B in the 2000s and shit, but it just always dawned on me how in the 90s you had like a lot more variety and shit. I'm just saying 90 had a lot more variety, but yeah. Shit. Damn, the chat seems a little dead and shit. Fuck. Let me see what I didn't say. But yeah, I cannot wait to talk about Sade, the Diamond Life album. I cannot wait to talk about like the whole 4 nights of Sade. And in case you guys didn't know, I'm going to talk about Sade, Diamond Life, and Promise this month. And I'm going to save Stronger Than Pride and Love Deluxe, probably like late January, early February. Because I know all these people love Valentine's Day. Me, I don't give a fuck about Valentine's Day. That's how I see it, you know. Because I like, almost every one of my Valentine's Day sucked. Because this is how I see Valentine's Day. Why do I need a fucking special day just for me to buy some shit for a female and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys love each other, you don't need no fucking day just to fucking love each other and shit. Like, fucking Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day wasn't even about no fucking love. It was about fucking murder. Niggas will fucking kill each other that damn day. Shit. Yeah, Eric Benet, the sex addict. How the nigga gonna fucking? How is this fucking nigga gonna cheat on Halle Berry and coming to his fucking coming to the fucking hotel room and shit like that with no fucking shoes on? What kind of shit? Like, ain't that a bitch? That shit's funny, man. Fucking Eric Benet, man. Yeah, you said promise I'm down for and love deluxe. Yeah, man. Feel free to join it. Like, yeah, you still doing Diamond Life too. You say you have to re-listen to Diamond Life too, so yeah, man. Like, fucking Sade, man. Cats don't know nothing about Sade. Like, I'm sorry. Like, not even Sade, but fucking Loose Ends. I want to talk about Loose Ends on this channel one day. Because Loose Ends, oh my, that Zagora album. The fucking Zagora album. Just even the production in the A, like, another fucking group that never got the credit they deserve and shit. But no, that's what we do is speak your clout. That's what the fuck we do. All we fucking do is highlight underrated artists. See, we don't, as much as we love all these artists, all that get all these love and shit like that. Give me highlight underrated artists that never got their shine and shit. That's all we do. Strawberry said Halle don't have no luck with men. She needs to be a lesbian. She needs to get on this dick. She needs to get on my fucking dick. That's what she needs to do. But all the niggas scared her off. Now she's dating a fucking white man now and shit, man. Shit. That's all I'm saying. Like, see, our brothers. That's what I'm saying. That's why all these black females, man, dating all these white men because these fucking brothers, man. These niggas, they scaring all these black females away and shit. Shit. Look at Tina Turner. As much as I love Tina Turner, I done beat her how much times? Now she gave away her U.S. citizenship and shit. And I love Tina Turner. I love Tina Turner. Shit. Mike C said I love Loose Ends. Yeah, man. Fuck, man. Yeah, it's just like I just heard the fucking You Can't Stop the Rain on Spotify recently. That shit takes me to another fucking level and shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause I know a lot of people know that song because Shaq and Biggie use that sample. And another dope song in its own right too, but I definitely need to get my hands on some of the albums and shit. I swear the 80s had like a lot of British talent, a lot of the second British invasion in the 80s and shit. Yeah, man, like let's see what's going on in Hip Hop DX before I clock out. Okay, I know everyone's talking about Offset and Cardi B splitting up. Who cares? Like this chick done hid the fucking marriage and shit. Declined going on tour for Bruno Mars and shit. Now you about to go on fucking court. It's kind of funny how both you and Nicki Minaj were beefing and shit. Now both y'all going in court over some similar ass shit. Like, that's funny as hell. Funny as hell and shit. Now you got a fucking child and shit, man. Let's see what that shit has to deal with. But anyway, seems like the Wu-Tang is going on tour around 2019 and shit like that. Philly and Brooklyn. That's what's up. That's what's up. What else? What else is going on? Oh shit, JID and No ID might be coming up with an album. That's dope. That's dope. Okay. See what the chat. Okay, the chat's still dead. What else? What else? Triple X is coming out with a posthumous album next. 6ix9ine. Wait, what? Child sex case officially closed. What the fuck? So this nigga's not going to fucking prison? What? Wait, oh, he pleaded guilty to use. Oh, he's still facing charges and shit. Okay. As long as the nigga's facing charges, I'm cool with that. Like, yeah. If they can send, like, if they can send Bill Cosby to prison, I don't see them have no problem sending 6ix9ine to prison. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Maybe if he goes to prison, he'll learn how to make better music or some shit. Oh wait, I forgot. You're gonna be in prison for life. I'm sorry. I'm a little out of it. I think I drank some shit earlier, but I don't know. But I'm sorry about that. Let's see what else is going on. Seems like Nicki Minaj's fan base is celebrating Cardi B and Offset's divorce. Petty as hell, but anyway. Travis Scott accused of cheating on Kylie. Who cares? Same old bullshit. Hip hop game like a soap opera. Same old bullshit. But yeah, some. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna end it off right here and shit. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Like I mentioned before, Public Enemy takes a nation of mission of takes a nation of takes a nation of millions to hold us back. Must have your collection. Fear for Black Planet. Apocalypse 91 is going to come later on this month. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Shout out to Speak Your Clout Podcast. As usual, this is your boy Reg. Peace.